When you look at mixed reality, there are a lot of process being defined. Being a new field, there are a lot of ways of approaching design for mixed reality.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into Notes of Design. To help support our mission spread knowledge to empower young creatives around the world, we have a very special guest on today's episode. Let's welcome Fabin, who is a design-led innovator. He previously worked with clients like Infosys, Xerox and Adobe. Fabin is expert in the field of AR, VR, creating some brilliant miracles over there with 4 patents under his belt and also winning the Adobe Inventor award. One of his famous ones was the motion brushes, which was presented at Adobe Max. On this episode, we discussed about what is mixed reality and what are the various toolset or skill set required for someone who wants to enter into this field. And also Fabin shared his creative process in making these great augmented experiences. So hope you guys enjoy this episode. Stay tuned and happy designing, everyone. Hi Fabin, welcome to Nodes of Design. It's pleasure hosting you today on our show.
Hey Tej, it's really great to be here and thank you for inviting me over.
Thank you, Fabin. So Fabin, if you can give a brief about you to our listeners out there.
Yeah, sure. I call myself a creative technologist who works kind of at the merger between creativity and technology. I work on technologies most of the time like augmented reality, virtual reality, sometimes on artificial intelligence based technologies, gestures, etc. I don't really focus on a technology. Perhaps I kind of look at the more the design oriented side of it, how it could be brought in for specific user oriented purposes, or if we could make some creative expressions out of it. So these are kind of my exploration, and it's been quite a journey so far. That's kind of what I'm right now.
Thank you so much, Fabin. So you said it's quite a journey. So we would love to hear your journey into design and how did you start into the field of design and what are your tips to the young creatives out there?
All right. So my journey into design started perhaps, so I started off as an electronics engineer and I moved into learning a bit of programming. And my first interest with design was when I started doing graphic design, posters and logos and those kind of things. Then I started my career. I was introduced to the field of interaction design, largely using technology and design, an intersection between these two. That was perhaps 2-3 years down the line in my career, and I was really hooked. I just found that this is the area I want to work in. And then from there, I thought I'll do a professional course in this. I did my master's from IIT Hyderabad. I worked with companies like Infosys, Xerox, and Adobe. And finally, right now, I'm working with a company named Britia. On the go, I've been exploring sides of creativity and technology, like, how to mix up these, how to use technology to express, making some creative expressions. At my heart, I'm like a maker. I like to make things and find out what all are the possible explorations that I can create out of it, and see if these could be innovations in the sense that I could tie up business and the design of it and find out if this could be, if I'm working with the product, I would try to see if this would fit with the product and then, move on. So I kind of am at the beginning stage of, say, a design cycle, of a product cycle, I would say. Kind of don't classify design as, research or prototyping or hands-on making mock-ups that's separate. I kind of bring the whole bunch together most of the time. Largely design-led innovation that I've been doing so far covers a bit of my journey, and you get a brief idea of what I've been through so far.
That was a wonderful journey from being an electronic engineer to the great interaction designer. Any tips on to beginners that you want to suggest?
I think so. Most of the time we get knowledge. We get knowledge from reading books. We get knowledge from watching some of the tutorials or videos out there, or we actually go to take a professional course and we get knowledge regarding design or creativity or any field for that matter. We actually absorb this knowledge through when we reflect upon things, when we discuss this with others and contemplate it. So I think
much.